And I would say, yeah, that one. And then they would do it. Or when I walked in, oh, yeah, hey, how you doing? Hey? And then they would say my address, and then they'd hold my food up. Yes, they did. Now, I'm not saying we were buddies or friends or anything like that, but I was a regular customer to this place and ordered a nice amount of food because I had a few people at my house when I would order from them. So I was money to these people. You dig? But one time I ordered some food from them, and I go to eat it, and there was a piece of metal in my food. A piece of metal. And oh man, right? Now, I know things happen, but that's dangerous. Somebody could choke on that, right? So I call the restaurant up and I say, hey, I was just there. I ordered this. Oh, yes. There was a piece of metal in my food. Oh, okay. Thank you for telling me. Okay, goodbye, click. Not, oh my God, I'm sorry. Not, oh, I'll check and see what's going on. Not, okay, come back and I'll give you another one for free. Or the next time you come back, the meal's on me. Nothing like that, which would have been acceptable because I'd never had problems with them before. But a piece of metal was in my food and you say, oh, okay, thanks, bye, click. No, I'm sorry. Just okay, thanks, bye, click. Now, a lot of times, like I said, people will get mad. They'll pick the phone back up. They'll curse the people out. They'll do all that kind of thing. But I'm not that type of person. Sometimes I'll hit them with what I like to refer to as the silent protest. No, it's a silent protest. Keep in mind, when you go to a place and you order a lot of food and you go there on a regular basis, you are quite a substantial amount of money that goes to them over the course of a month or a year. But what happens when that person, me in this case, or you in this, if something like similar like that happened to you, just stopped going altogether and refused to ever go back? They don't even know because I did call and let them know there was a problem, but they okay. So just think about the amount of times I would have gone back, but I won't be going back. Some people are going to go, man, they ain't going to miss that money. I understand that. But I also know that when somebody asks me about that place, what am I going to say? And people know that I don't talk about people like that. So if I say something about it, ooh, as Anthony said, ooh, and all of a sudden the people that I know won't go. And the people that they know won't go. People don't realize how often you get the silent protest. You get it all the time and you don't even know it. You ever find out about a party and you weren't invited to it? They might not even be mad at you. They just don't like you enough to want you around their house. They didn't want you there. They didn't go, hey, don't tell Dave about the party. They just don't invite you. They don't make a big deal out of it. Because when everybody shows up at the house and you're not there, if everybody's having a great time, they're just going to assume you're coming later. And then they're going home. Hey, well, what happened to Dave? Oh, he must have been busy. No, Dave wasn't busy. Dave wasn't invited. It's very similar to a silent protest. You didn't want to diss Dave, but you didn't want him at your house. And then it becomes a habit where every time you have a party, Dave's not invited. Now everybody knows, I guess he doesn't like Dave, and nobody says anything. And Dave doesn't even realize it. In fact, they stopped talking about the party at work because they don't want Dave to feel like a dope because he wasn't invited. But eventually he figures it out. And he realizes 5 parties later, oh, I guess I'm never going to be invited. It was a silent protest to Dave. He didn't want Dave at the house. We had a friend, and I say the word friend, and people use the word friend a lot. Right. And my definition of friend is someone who really genuinely cares about you. If they do something nice for you, it's because they want to, and you do something nice for them because you want to. It seems like it's a reciprocal relationship, but it's just altruistic in nature, but it looks like reciprocity from the outside. OK. But everybody else just uses friend like, oh, this is somebody I hang out with and we hang out and it's pleasant. That's what they say a friend is. So I'm just going to use that word friend just for simplification. We had a friend, right? And he was one of those ladies' man types. And that's his groove. Consenting adults. He sees a beautiful woman. He goes out with her, serial monogamous. Well, who am I kidding? Serial cheater. But we didn't know that at the time. Okay, cool, whatever. That's his business. Who cares, right? So we never paid much attention to, oh, here he goes again, the ladies, man. You never paid attention to it. And then one day he walks in with somebody and he doesn't come to sit with us. He's got a woman with him. No problem. You want to spend time with a lady. I like my friends too. But when I'm spending time with my lady, if I see a bunch of my friends, I'm going to wave at them, but they know I'm with her. Keep your punk butts over there. I won't spend time with the lady. They know that every guy knows that you wave at your friend when he's with his lady and you leave him alone. So that's what we did. But as it turns out, this guy was with a married woman. Ooh. Now, I know that's not a big deal because there's a lot of people that do that. But the thing is, it causes and can cause problems. First of all, if everybody knows he's with a married woman and he's hanging out with you, then all of a sudden people start looking at you like you condone that. And maybe if you condone that, you also are partaking in that. Imagine if your girlfriend see him with this woman and find out that he's married and find out that you're okay with it, and all of a sudden you're in trouble for something you didn't even think about doing because of this punk. But that was not the worst part of it. The worst part of it was we started finding out that the women he was going out with were almost all married women and women in serious relationships. Ooh. And it had already started. People started thinking that we were the type of dudes that condone that. Ooh, he had stained the group. Oh, and a couple of times he was sitting around us. His lady friend who was married was at the bar. He just came over to say hi. She sees him talking. She walks over to him. And now we're sitting there and he's standing there talking to us and she's sitting there all hugged up with him. And then a big guy, huge guy, gigantic guy walks in, right? You're in a bar and the guy's so big you can actually feel his footsteps hitting the ground and you're thinking it's the aftershocks of an earthquake, and it's not. It's a guy who makes earthquakes walk away from him because they're scared of him. And he walks over and he's about to pound this guy into juice. Ooh. And we're sitting there like, I mean, if it was, he was a good friend of ours and somebody was about to whoop him up, we would have jumped up and did, but I'm not going to get my ass whooped because this guy wants to try to get it on with somebody's wife. I'm not dealing with that, right? So she, don't do it, Bill. And she puts her hand on his chest. She had to stand on a chair to reach his chest. This dude was huge, right? And the dude that was with her was like, oh crap, I didn't know. Of course he knew, right? And she goes, well, and then she's mad at him because he's trying to say he didn't know, implying that she's the liar, and she is a liar, but he's a liar too, right? But she hustles Captain Gigantoid out of the bar, and we're all sitting there like, good, you almost got us all killed. And we're thinking it's an aberration. That's not going to happen again. Yes, it did. And we realized, whoa, man. We sat him down. It's like, yo, man, you bringing a lot of heat to the table, man. People are thinking that we condone what you're doing. And in addition to that, you almost got us killed by a guy that could actually spin the rock on his finger like a basketball. I mean, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, if you understand what that's how big the dude was. You understand? Well, man, listen, man, you got to understand, man. I mean, you saw how fine she was, man. I had to get some of that, man. Look, man, I knew she was married. Look, I don't chase married women, right? If I know a woman's married, I will respect their relationship and I will stay back and I won't do anything. You know what I mean? I won't do anything. But she came to me. You saw that woman, man. If a woman like that rolled up on you and was about to give you some of that sweet stuff, you would take it. And I said, no, you don't think women come up to every other guy? But we're smart enough to not get involved in that crap. You almost got your head pounded in. Was it worth it? Yeah, it kind of was. He thinks it's funny. And we kind of looked at this guy and we realized how much trouble he was bringing on us. And remember what I talked about? Silent protest. We had to silently protest this dude. And we didn't want to confront the guy because he was so stupid. He would have just followed us wherever we went. So we basically just switched to another place, right? Until he got the message. We don't want you around, you